Good morning, children of the Most High. My name is Chukwemeka with the Igbo Hebrews organization. These are the Igbo people who have realized that we are the true Hebrews of the Bible and we've returned to the worship of our God. We do not practice Christianity, we don't practice Islam, we have nothing to do with Judaism. We return to the worship of the one true God of the Hebrews and keep the laws of the commandments of the Most High of Abraham. Children of God, today I want to talk about the issue of killing of twins in Igbo land. I want to bring out the truth, the facts, the fiction, everything. Unfortunately today, if you go to the internet and search this kind of issue, you hear that in those days Igbos were just killing their twins. If any woman gives birth to a twin, the twins will be killed, or one of the children will be killed. So I decided to look into this issue to give an idea, because I know that growing up, I never had that preconception actually. So I decided to look further into it to bring the truth from my own perspective to light. You see, Igbo land, let me give a background. Igbo land is made up of very many independent villages. These villages are independent and just on their own. That's why I kept insisting that the 12 tribes are actually in Igbo land, but that's a discussion for another time. So what is done in one particular community may not be done in a community just a stone throw away. Each of them have different communities that live together and do everything together, may have very different dialects and also different customs, but they speak the same language and everything. So I had to kind of broaden the base of the research that I did. Unfortunately now, Igbos have been associated with the idea of killing of twins. Like I said, almost everywhere you look at this thing on the internet, on any books you read about Igbos killing their twins and everything. But brothers and sisters, what I realized is that this is not true. What I actually found out is that it wasn't even like Igbos were killing their twins. It was more like Igbo twins were being killed by external forces. Let me explain this, and I intend to explain it here. Igbo twins were actually getting killed, and Igbos were doing what they could to protect their twins. Now, the Igbo word for twin is ejima. If you look at the interpretation of that word ejima, it sounds like in Igbo language, ejima sounds like I am holding on to it. That's what it sounds like in Igbo language. So if you look at the word ejima, it does not have a negative connotation. So why will Igbos kill something that does not seem negative to them? It sounds like I'm holding on to it. Something you're holding on to, why will you kill it? This was why I decided to look at this, because it didn't make sense to me. In Igbo land, ejimas have very positive connotation. Most people actually pray to have ejima, and people that have ejimas or are seen as, people that have ejimas in their families are seen as people with high virility and stuff like that. And I do know that there are people in my ancestry that were ejimas. There are people in my ancestry that were twins. I know that, and I also know some grandmothers in Igbo land that were twins. So that's why when I read books and everything that say that Igbos were killing twins in those days, I had to look into it. You see, brothers and sisters, you need to understand Igbo land, and when we were at the verge of alien rule, when we were under slave trade, the pressures of slave trade and colonialism. It turns out that the killing of twins cannot be traced to Igbo land. The killing of twins, brothers and sisters, cannot be traced to Igbo land. Actually, it can be traced to the Efik cultures. When I say the Efik cultures, I mean the communities, some of the communities that make up the Efik tribe, the Calabar area. During the slave trade, brothers and sisters, this is what some of us don't even know. During the slave trade, the Igbos were under the subjugation of literally every community around us. We were under the subjugation of it. To the west of the Igbo land, you have the Benin Kingdom. To the southwest, and you have the Ijaw and Calabari kingdoms. To the east of Igbo land, you have this Calabar and Efik cultures. All these communities were basically ruling over the Igbos during the slave trade. They were the major merchants of slave era. They were the ones that dealt with the Europeans, and they were the ones that basically, they were the chief merchants that basically sold a lot of the Igbos to slavery. There were also other Igbo community that actually participated in this with them. It was during that time that the concept of killing of twins came to Igbo land, and this was as a result of the influence of the Efik cultures in Igbo land. The Efiks were basically ruling the Igbo land, and not only them, other people too, and they had their rule over the Igbo people with the aid of their oracles. They have their oracles with which they went about the Igbo communities and influenced a lot of things. Now, one of the very first communities in Igbo land to adopt this negative attitude towards twins is a community called Arochukwu. Arochukwu is a community that is at the margins of Igbo land. In fact, the villages that make up Arochukwu are roughly about 80% Igbo and 20% Efik and Ibibio tribes. It was from there that the idea of twins being negative came into Igbo land. And what I found out is that not all Igbo communities actually practice this. Not all. In my community, for instance, the killing of twins was never practiced. People don't know anything about it, and a lot of old people I know were actually twins or actually have twins. In the communities where killing of twins were practiced, they weren't usually killing these children. It's not like infanticide or something. What happened is that if somebody has twin children, one of the second child usually will not be a legitimate child of the parents. That child can either be sold to slavery or killed or something like that. I understand the influence, the negative attitude that the Efik cultures have on twins because I grew up there. I was actually born in one of the Efik villages, and I spent a little bit of my childhood there, so I know the negative connotation they have towards twins. But that is not the same thing I see in Igbo land, which was why I kept on wondering, why is it that Igbos are associated with killing of twins? It turns out, brothers and sisters, if you read, I'll recommend everyone read the book by Elizabeth Isichei. You understand that during that slave trade era, the kings of Calabar were actually ruling over a lot of Igbos and were selling a lot of Igbos. It was from there that this idea of twins being negative actually came to Igbo land. In my wife's community, the community where my wife comes from, killing of twins was practiced, and this is what my wife's mother told me. My wife's mother told me that in those days, that the herbalists in our societies, the Levites in their community, they had herbs that they will give a pregnant woman if they know she's going to have twins. They have herbs that they can give her to delay the birth of the second child, so that the baby will not be killed by these people. They have herbs that they can give to delay the birth of the second child. The first child will be born, and maybe a few days later the next child will be born, so that it won't be seen as a twin, and thereby it won't be killed by these people. So if you understand what actually happened during slave trade, you find that killing of twins was an imposition on Igbo land. It wasn't an Igbo custom. Another thing, brothers and sisters, is that the woman that is known for stopping the killing of twins was a British missionary named Mary Slessor. Okay, Mary Slessor never stepped foot in Igbo land. She never came to Igbo land. How could she stop killing of twins in Igbo land when she never came here? Mary Slessor was a missionary in the Calabar region. She was with the Efik people all her life, and she died there. And it was there that she stopped the killing of twins among them. And when she stopped it there, the whole thing stopped, because it was actually them that were bringing this influence to the people that they were selling as slaves, which is mainly the Igbos. And from what my mother-in-law told me, you find that Igbos were actually doing everything they could to protect their children from being killed. Most people need to understand that the impact of slavery on Igbo societies. A whole lot of things turned upside down. Brothers turned against brothers. The people of Arochukwu, for instance, were very well known for selling other Igbos to slavery. They weren't the only ones that did that. A whole lot of other people did it, including the Obis of Abo, the people in Kinjaja of Opobo and some other. They all did this. But it was from them, the Arochukwu area, the Efik cultures, that this negative attitude towards twins came. Igbos were not killing their twins. Most Igbo villages were doing everything they could to protect their twins from being killed. People were actually hiding their twins in those days. And I noticed that there seemed to be a whole lot of pandering to the Europeans. Most Igbos who wrote about this killing of twins seem to see Europeans like gods, and then seem to see what everybody was just blaming Igbos for killing twins, or for things that never really happened. Usually these people, they crave attention of Europeans, and so they write negative things about our culture. Whether they are being stemmed by the Europeans, I don't know. But I do know that this is what the Europeans tend to do. When they come to a particular community, they try to write negative things about that community to justify the inhumanity that they are imposing on them, to justify selling them as slaves. And that's why they wrote that we were just killing our twins. Nowadays, if you even check, if you go and Google killing of twins in Africa, all you see is Igbo land. You won't see the Efik communities. You won't even know which Efik community that was actually killing the twins and actually doing it in Igbo land. You won't see that. It's Igbos that they are saying. The whole thing now falls on Igbos, that we are the ones killing our children. But what I found out, brothers and sisters, was there's no evidence of this in most Igbo communities. This was not practiced. And in the communities where this was done, Igbos were doing everything they could to protect their children from the influence of the people who keep on capturing them and ruling them and selling them to slavery. That's what happened. You see, brothers and sisters, this is what happens when you let Europeans write your history for you. They will write it in their own interest. I'll give you an example. When the British people came to Benin Kingdom in the 17th century, in the 16th and 17th century, they wrote that the streets of Benin was filled with blood, that the people were just killing each other. However, the Portuguese came to Benin some 200 years earlier, and they wrote that the streets of Benin was magnificent, that the Benin city itself was comparable to the cities in Europe. Now, what is the difference between the British and the Portuguese towards the Benin? You see, the Portuguese were actually working with the Benin Kingdom. They partnered with the Benin Kingdom, and the Benin Kingdom supplied them with raw materials and slaves. So they partnered with them here in Africa. On the other hand, the British wanted to displace the Portuguese in Nigeria. They wanted to displace them, to kick them out. So they wanted to destroy the Benin Kingdom from partnering, because they were partnering with the Portuguese. The British actually got a stronghold in the Calabar region, and they destroyed the Benin Kingdom. Actually, they captured a lot of Benin kings and sent them to prison in the Calabar area. And for them to justify the acts that they were doing to this magnificent city, they had to write that the streets of Benin was filled with blood, which makes no sense whatsoever. This is what they do. They castigate cultures. To justify the slavery of Igbo people, they have to write that Igbos were basically killing their own children. Meanwhile, it's a very small tribe that actually believe in the killing of twins, and this tribe happened to be the ones partnering with the British. And they were influencing, because the British were supplying them with gunpowder and everything. So they had a whole lot of influence on the Igbo cultures. Brothers and sisters, don't let the Europeans write your history for you. Go to your communities, ask questions about this. You will be frustrated as I was. Most old people don't even know anything about killing of twins in Igbo land. And yet, Igbos are now known for killing children. Most old people that I talked to didn't know anything about it in the communities that I asked them. They knew nothing about that. And the ones who do can only remember trying to hide their twins from being killed by these external people that were roaming around our communities with their idols. So I want to put this out there. I know that we're basically swimming against the tide. Our culture and our community has been castigated, but I want to put it out there that when you hear that Igbos are killing their twins, do not believe it. Most of these things were lies told to give us a bad name. The Igbo word for twins is ejima. Ejima means I am holding on to it. I am holding it. When parents give birth to twins, is something that we are proud of in Igbo land. There is no such thing as killing of twins in Igbo land until we came under the condition of slavery. Killing of twins is the consequence of the imposition of slavery in our cultures, because we were then influenced by external communities that actually believed this, and they brought in their beliefs into our people. They brought in their oracle, and with their oracle they used it to oppress our people. And now we are bearing the brunt of it. We are being accused of infanticide. Meanwhile, these things was something that we were actually victims of. I want to put this truth out there. I want our people to know that this was a result. This was an imposition on our communities. And may the Most High bless each and every one of us. Salam.